Horrific scenes in Minneapolis. Left-wing militants attacked immigration service agents. A full-scale battle ensued. One of them threatened the officers with a weapon. The police tried to stop him, but to no avail. Finally, shots were fired, and the attacker was killed on the spot.
An individual approached U.S. Border Patrol officers with a 9mm semi-automatic handgun. The officers attempted to disarm this individual, but the armed suspect reacted violently. Fearing for his life and for the lives of his fellow officers around him, an agent fired defensive shots.
Immigration agents arrived in Minnesota to protect residents. Their goal was to deport illegal and dangerous Somalis, gang members who threatened the safety of ordinary people. But they were confronted by an aggressive crowd, including a left-wing activist who, as it turned out, did not have a gun license and was aiming his weapon at federal agents.
Where an individual wanted to do maximum damage and massacre law enforcement. Then, about 200 rioters arrived at the scene and began to obstruct and assault law enforcement.
Minnesota is ruled by extreme left-wing authorities. Opening the borders and bringing in illegal immigrants is their election idea. Not only do the Democrats not want the federal authorities to catch criminals from the migrant community, but they are actually inciting people to attack police officers.
To ICE, get the out of Minneapolis. We do not want you here. Your stated reason for being in this city is to create some kind of safety, and you are doing exactly the opposite.
Federal occupation of Minnesota long ago stopped being a matter of immigration enforcement. It's a campaign of organized brutality against the people of our state. And today that campaign claimed another life.
An aggressive crowd attacks immigration agents in every way possible. 2 weeks ago, a woman who tried to run them over with her car was shot dead. But police officers whose goal is to deport dangerous migrants must first fight their way through aggressive militants.
Bojówki lewackie, takie bojówki na przykład jak Antifa była kiedyś.
Leftist militias such as Antifa used to be. It is militias such as Antifa, various leftist organizations promoting illegal immigration, sponsored by people such as George Soros. It is these people who stand in opposition and are paid to be people who simply cause chaos, who are very often armed, as in the case of this woman who was shot 2 weeks ago because she drove her car into a crowd of ICE agents, posing a threat to their health and lives. The authorities in Washington stand firmly behind the agents. There is no tolerance for lawlessness in Democratic-ruled Minnesota. Deportations will continue despite the aggression of left-wing militias, fueled by irresponsible politicians. This is the gunman's gun, loaded with 2 additional full magazines and ready to go. What is that all about? Where are the local police? Why weren't they allowed to protect ICE officers? Let our ICE patriots do their job. 12,000 illegal alien criminals, many of them violent, have been arrested and taken out of Minnesota.
Donald
Trump was essentially elected to stop the huge wave of illegal immigration, which has had a very negative impact on American society as a whole, and to combat its effects. That is why we are seeing a certain escalation in Minneapolis. The federal authorities cannot back down, and the methods they are using are no different from those used by the American police or federal services for, let's say, decades. Under Trump, America will not make the same mistake that ruined many cities in Western Europe, where illegal immigrants terrorize residents, especially women. And in the UK, Islamists are already beginning to take power. Many cities such as London, Birmingham, Manchester, and the suburbs of Manchester are basically non-British enclaves. All measures have been exhausted there. Well, if I recently saw a video with the mayor of Brighton, who didn't speak English very well, what are we talking about? And this man is elected in a general election. Under the Democrats, as many as 20 million illegal immigrants entered the U.S., many of them with criminal records. Donald Trump intends to send them all back to their countries of origin, regardless of the resistance of left-wing militias and politicians sympathetic to them.